All right, welcome back to the Chaoscast. With me today, we have a gate, as before.
So,
We have the one, the only, the famed Rocket League player himself, King Corch. And then we have the banished Joker.
yes, sir.
Now, I am privileged to be among such illustrious and world-renowned friends here. And I have a few questions for those here, and I know two of you have not yet been on the Chaos Cast.
No, not yet, not yet.
Um,
I'm excited though to be a part of the pilot episode. I'm not gonna lie.
well, thank you for being
And
here.
just by the way, there is an episode 0 on this channel in case
Yes.
you want to check out like the preeminent, like the humble
It
beginnings
is-
of this.
It is.
So it's
Sure,
unironically
humble. Yeah,
solid.
We'll go with humble. I would say scuffed beginnings, but yeah.
Humbly scuffed.
I think I'm going to start out with a simple. Now that we have really a full call here for a podcast, let's go over how we all know each other, right? Everybody okay with this?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Corch, let's start with you. How did we meet?
Oh boy, I don't exactly remember how we met.
All right.
All right.
But
So,
I can definitely tell you the many stories from when we first met and like when we started talking, like constantly.
Yeah.
So I've Joey and King Borch here, whatever Dark Wolf Revan.
One of my many aliases.
Many names. Yeah, we have a lot of aliases. So I believe it was 11th grade high school. I had done one semester over college university for a high school program that they had. I did it for a semester, and I was just like, you know what? I'm not enjoying this. There's a lot of stress here, and going from one of the worst schools to one of the best schools and not performing well doesn't help. But I persevered, and I said, you know what? I want to go back to my high school. Finish off high school right and do it the normal way. So I go back, and honestly, not only did I get to meet some old friends, I got to meet some new friends. I got to meet this fucking bitch who somehow got A's on every test in a class that he slept in. But that's a fine note. I think that,
Look, I'm sorry that your college-driven course could not match my innate mental big brain.
Your huge, massive 5 head. I understand.
Yes. Look,
So yeah,
I started going bald because my head could not contain all of the hair as it had to make space for the big brain.
makes sense. Then you need a lot of room for that big brain of yours. That's
I
a
do.
lot of room. So yeah, and mostly we had a lot of classes together. So we had like earth science together. We've probably had a couple other classes. We had lunches together. And just coming back from college and knowing like our friend Justin, who's not in the call right now, but that's where I knew him from. So and then we just kind of have been together ever since. You cannot release the Borch Corch connection here. It's gonna be hard to release this one.
I mean, yeah, we go pretty far back now. I mean, that was 6-7 years ago.
Yeah, because it's been at least 4 years since we've been out of high school.
Yeah. Which that same high school is where I met our good boy Agate. Now,
yeah.
Jesse, how would you like to explain how we met?
So, there's like two explanations. I met you through Justin, but I feel like the real time we actually met was back in gym class. And I said, hey, you like Dark Cloud? And then immediately, how the fuck does he know?
Yeah. not as an elaborate origin story as the the royalty himself, King Corch. Um, but yeah, so me and Jesse here, we originally met back in high school as well. Before me and Corch were even really friends. Like I had seen Jake around, I'd met him like once or twice, but we weren't really friends at that point. And me and Jesse, freshman year, I was already, at school like the odd man out because I didn't start classes. I didn't, actually start going until like 2 weeks to a month after uh, the fucking high school year had begun.
Oh.
Yeah. So not only was I, you know, a freshman in high school, I was going to a whole new school district where I knew nobody. And I'm half a month to a month starting late.
Yikes. I wouldn't know how you'd be feeling
Not
for
a
that.
girl.
It was
How many
interesting.
months late? How many months late did you have to start in?
I started like 2 weeks to a month late for school.
Okay. Oh, okay. I guess it could have been worse. I mean, that's not ideal, but it could have been worse.
Oh, I think much longer than that. I don't think they would have actually let me
Honestly, yeah.
start going.
Yeah, like I think like halfway through the first year, that's when we met in gym, and we
Um,
sort of made small talk and a lot, and I'm like, hey,
I think
you ever play a game called Dark Cloud?
I think
And
it was
that's how it started.
through our friend at the time, Chase.
Yeah, I think it was Sir Chase. I'm like, I knew Chase, but I'm like, I
Because
didn't. I wasn't
Chase
his
was one of
friend.
the only people I knew at that school because he used to go to my old school with me,
Mm.
and had transferred school districts a year or two before me. So he was the only person I knew at that school. And he's the one who introduced me to Justin, and in turn, all of you guys. So, in a weird, twisted, you know,
In a weird
twisted,
spider web.
line of events, or series of unique and interesting things that happened, if not for Chase, there's a chance I might not have met or been friends with any of you,
Yeah, yeah.
which is crazy to think about because it was 2012
Oh
when
God.
when we met Jesse. So we've been friends for 9 years now.
I would say 2013 actually.
Well, the
Kind
2012 to 2013 year,
around that time frame. Yeah. So
but yeah, no, that was an interesting time. That whole school was the most ghetto place I
yeah.
have ever been to. And I've been almost shot at in Detroit.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to cover that. It's a boring
That's
topic.
That's a
that's
side
another
episode.
topic for when
Another
King Eorch is here.
Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, King
Because I was with him when it
Eorch.
happened. Again,
Nice.
story for a different time.
There you go.
All right, Zach. How would you like to go over how we met?
Well, from what I vaguely remember, we met through Andrew, and we were playing Battlefield 4 on Xbox. And I'm pretty sure you told me that you thought it was annoying at first, but then eventually I grew on to you over the years.
Yeah, a little bit. I thought at first you were a little much, but I have met worse people since. So, looking back, wasn't so bad.
I don't think it's too bad considering he's in our podcast.
Exactly.
I don't think it's too bad if all these years later you still ended up in a podcast together.
I want to say 2015-ish.
Possibly 2014.
Because Andrew was a senior at the time when me and him started becoming friends.
Were we in 11th grade when he was in 12th?
Yeah,
Okay.
He was a year ahead of us.
Okay. That's who I thought. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Remembering from him.
Good old Billy.
Billy.
That was my nickname for him, like, for years. And it was great. But yeah, so we met through Andrew when we were playing Battlefield 4. So yeah, it was probably around 2015 area. Well, yeah, 2014, 2015. Cuz what year did Battlefield 4 come out?
2014.
Was it 2014? I thought it was
Yeah.
2015.
It was either one of those dates.
Or am I thinking of
Actually, Battlefield
1?
4 came out in 2013.
Did anything come out? Did any Battlefield come out in 2015 just to make me feel good?
2015?
Wasn't that Battlefield 1?
Nope. Battlefield 1 was 2016.
Yeah, of course it was.
So you're just a little,
just a whole year
little
off. Yeah, I remember getting
Actually-
Battlefield 1 and getting.
No, actually, wait. Battlefield Hardline came out in 2015.
Ha!
Oh, yeah, woo! I forgot about that because that one sucked.
Yeah, it did. Kind of did.
That one sucked. That's why I forgot it.
I think I liked it more than Counter-Strike, but it was basically Counter-Strike.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey man, that game was fun. I enjoyed Battlefield
I
Hardline.
mean, I just liked that I could run around with
I enjoyed the free
Claymore
beta,
from fucking
so I could get
Dragon
on
Age Inquisition. Like,
yeah, that was
just
pretty
being able to
cool.
run around with that. I used that so fucking much. It was. I shouldn't have used it as much as I did. Speaking of, Battlefield 6 is supposed to come out this year.
Yeah, and on top of that, I mean to interrupt. They're remastering Battlefield 3.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about the Battlefield 3 remaster.
Think of it this way: if Battlefield 6 flops, we have something to go back to.
Yeah, but that depends on how much they change for Battlefield 3.
Yeah, but I don't know what. I mean, I hope it's just an updated graphical enhance. That's all I really.
I mean, that's what we can. Yeah, that's what we can hope. But moving
There's
on,
definitely-
since we are on the topic of games, what would you say is the best video game villain?
Ooh, okay.
Best
Start with you,
video
Corpse.
game
Yep, Corpse,
villain.
I'll start with you.
Best video game villain. Yikes. There's a good amount of them. I don't play too many single player games just because that's who I am, but I have played it. A lot of them.
Hang on, I think I actually have the answer for you.
Go for it.
Your answer:
Go for it.
the Rocket League servers.
My fucking nemesis. My arch fucking nemesis. God, literally. I mean, that's one of them. I mean, either that or the AI bot Hollywood, but you know.
But in all seriousness,
that is a genuine enemy. That is a genuine enemy, but like an actual intended villain,
Yes.
an actual intended villain. I mean, I'm gonna have to lean to the Batman games for this, just because I know
You're
them
gonna
so
go
well.
with Arkham Knight, aren't you?
No, Arkham Knight's not that good of a. No, Arkham Knight's not that good of a. I actually don't like him that much.
Really?
Yeah, no. Personally, I think my favorite villain to, like, are you talking like what the villains like actually does? Like, are they actually evil, or just anything
Who
about a
you think
villain
is
that I
the
like?
best
Okay, in my
terms
opinion,
of like
my opinion,
motivation, plans, what they actually do, stuff like that.
I really like Mr. Freeze, especially from Arkham City. I'd have to say Mr. Freeze, just because his motivations are just literally to find his wife. He's not exactly a bad person, but so much more a flawed man, and
It's
at least
more that he views what he's doing as a means to an end. The ends justify the means.
yes.
Yeah.
So you can very much relate in a sense
Yeah.
of okay, yes, he goes from being a bad person to just
Just trying to save his wife.
yeah, just two different sides of the coin of
Yeah.
Batman versus, and the fight itself. I mean, just known as one of the best fights in all of the Arkham games.
Yeah.
Everyone loves the Mr. Freeze fight. I mean, it's all right for me. But that's just because I suck at the game. So, but yeah, I'd have to say Mr. Freeze for me from Arkham City.
All right. Zach, we shall move on to you. Who do you think is the best video game villain?
Well, shit. I don't have one, except the only one I can think of is Bowser from Super Mario Brothers. His motivation to keep trying to take over the Mushroom Kingdom is something.
It
You're
amazes
not
me
wrong.
how many.
Also, Bowser is one of the most iconic villains to come out of gaming.
Yeah.
Most and
He's one of
the
the iconic
twisted
ones, yeah.
irony is that the Nintendo CEO's name is Bowser.
Doug Bowser.
Yeah.
Bowser.
Yeah. Yeah, that's ironic.
I don't know if that was an intentional move or
Or
an
or
interesting
not,
twist of
but
fate.
I liked it.
Or it's just a
All I
coincidence.
know is I don't really trust him.
Well, he memes it. I hope you know that.
Yeah, no, I know he does. It's just I don't know.
His persistence is anything but remarkable. How many years?
Well, yeah. Ever since the 80s, Bowser's been trying to take over the Mushroom Kingdom for a long time.
40 years and this bitch still can't get
well,
it.
we-
Damn.
Well, he kidnaps Peach at first, but then it moves on to like Super Mario Galaxy and then like Odyssey and Sunshine. Oh, I don't even. Was he even in Sunshine or was that
Yeah,
just?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sunshine. He
Okay.
was the main villain in Sunshine.
Okay.
Well, I
Not
mean,
a
he
very
was
good boss fight.
he was the
wasn't
secret villain.
pretty. Yeah, he really wasn't
Okay,
much.
Baby
with
Bowser was, or
Yeah.
Bowser Jr. I forget
was
which one they
yeah.
actually called him back then,
Bowser Jr.
because that was his first appearance as well.
Really, Sunshine was.
I'm
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
certain of it.
Huh. I thought he was around before that. That's interesting, actually.
You're probably thinking of the Koopalings from Mario World.
I could be.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
fuck,
it was Super Mario Sunshine.
every single boss battle I did with him was intense with like some of the newer games. Like when I fought Bowser, I'm just like, holy shit, dude.
You know, I remember playing Super Mario 64, and that first Bowser fight. You know, having to traverse through that intricate, 3D world for the very first time.
Yeah.
And then, in today's standards, it's not a very intense or difficult boss. But it's
at the
just so
time-
memorable as, like,
Yep.
you know.
Just at that time when
Exactly.
you first play it, and it's like, what the fuck? This is so intense, man.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, again, all you had to do was fucking grab him by his tail and
Wahoo.
shit whip him off the fucking platform a few times. But that's fine.
And say so long, gay Bowser.
So long, gay Bowser.
I also like the fact that in the new Mario game that just released for the Switch,
Super Mario 3D World.
yeah, 3D World and Bowser's Fury,
Yeah.
I've yet to play
Bowser's
I want
fucking pissed.
Well, yeah.
He has no motivation. He's just pure unbridled rage. Just
See, I wish we would have seen more of like how they made him in Smash Brawl,
yeah.
like especially the Giga Bowser transformation.
Oh yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know, it was nice. But
The Giga Bowser was like back in Melee, wasn't it? Because you had to fight him in Melee.
Yeah, I think so. I think what I mean is just like as you playing him
yeah.
in Melee or Brawl.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on to you, Jesse. Who do you
All right.
view as
Fun
the
thing,
best?
Bowser.
Fun thing. We were talking about Brawl. Just
Yeah.
I like initially thought like I think honestly one of the coolest like villain / bosses has to be Taboo from Brawl because he's just like this weird almighty guy and this is like subspace emissary story mode and this is like all the stuff before Galeem and Darkon. So Taboo was like just he's taking control and making the world into kind of like a weird shadow world,
Yeah.
and it starts colliding together, and then
Brawl's campaign was beautiful.
yeah, like that's what I like about Brawl campaign. And
They haven't had a campaign
Offhand.
like it.
Offhand, quick question: Melee or Brawl? Which one's better?
I like Brawl a lot because I played it a lot.
I played a lot more Melee, but
Yeah,
there's things I love from each.
Honestly, I
Yeah.
have to say Melee just because I know Melee more, and
Again, I don't want to
I
stick
like
with
Melee.
nostalgia.
Yeah,
Though. That's the thing. I don't want my
that's
decision to be
understandable.
purely based on nostalgia.
I mean,
I
in Melee,
think-
we got a lot of good characters.
if I played
man.
more, if I played more, I'd be able to give you an actual answer. But I was just curious because I know you guys have played.
I played both a lot. I've been playing Brawl since the very first game. Or fucking Smash Bros. Since the very first game.
You've been playing 64
Yeah.
Smash Bros.
Yeah.
Which I still have my copy on my cartridge somewhere.
They were both such good games. Like all the Smash Bros. Games have been good. There's not a bad one out there. You know, it just at the end of the day just comes down to which one people like more, like the mechanics more, the roster. I mean, granted, with Smash Ultimate now, like it has every character from every game.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's the weird thing. I like them both.
Yeah.
Fair. Zach, which one do you like better?
I got bad news for you, Chief.
He's never played Super Smash Bros. Game, has he?
That's fine.
I've played Ultimate. That's the only one I've played.
Don't get me wrong. Ultimate is
Honestly,
an amazing game.
Yeah, I know. I have it. It's
The online, however.
I don't want to play online.
That's just Nintendo in general, not even necessarily fucking.
I think I read somewhere that they might be changing to another server thing. So potentially it could be better.
Like for one of the biggest game corporations in the world, they have some of the shittiest fucking multiplayer servers.
Yeah.
You know what? That actually brings up a good topic. Kind of to transition into this kind of next thing I'm going to talk about. The kind of difference between, we talked a lot about how, we talked to, when we said our favorite video game villains, the first thing I noticed right off the bat, we all had a lot of different time periods that our villains came from.
Yeah.
From newer games to older games. So I guess my big question to you guys, have video games gotten worse or better? How? Like, have they, in your eyes, in terms of story, have they gotten better? In terms of mechanics, have they gotten better or worse? Or however you want to go about that.
I think I have an answer for that. I think it's neither. I don't think they're getting better or worse. I think it's just since we also have been gaming since we were for basically as long as we can remember. As we've gotten older, we have better thought process and stuff like that. We've become a lot more critical.
We're not embryos.
We have become a lot more critical in what we view, or how we view games, and how we, consume the products, as it were.
Different takes.
Exactly. As kids, we're just happy to have, something colorful and fun to play.
Yeah.
I think games have changed in in the fact that they can't do some of the things that they used to do back in the past. Like if they could never make a Conker's Bad Fur Day ever again.
Yeah.
They could never do that. Like in
Yeah.
today's society.
Yeah, probably would be the best idea.
The
Honestly.
closest thing we've gotten was when the Xbox One came out and Rare Replay released. Because it basically made it to where a lot of those N64 games and games from the early like 80s and 90s all the way up to the mid 2010s when the console dropped, like all those games made by the game company Rare, or not all of them, but a lot of them, were in one collection for you to be able to play. So like the Banjo-Kazooie franchise, Conker's Bad Fur Day, Battletoads, Grabbed by the Ghoulies, games like that. But again, I think it comes down to the fact of personal preferences changing as we get older, how we view games, and how much more critical of games we are as we've gotten older.
Got it. Interesting. Jesse, what's your take on this? Unless you got anything to add, Joey. Anything else?
One other thing is like, yeah, there have been some. I don't necessarily think it's the games that are getting worse. I think it has in large part to do with the higher ups in the companies, the CEOs, the executives, stuff like that, wanting to push games out quickly and push them out as fast as they can, so that they can start working on another project, so they can get more money. That's where a lot of companies get some bad publicity, is because of stupid and dumb company practices, like with EA and their fucking loot boxes.
Yeah, no, definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Jesse,
all right. I'm kind of with the same idea with Joey. Like, for example, for an old game like Dragon Quest, and it's a pure RPG, and over time it has evolved into more of its regular standard as a regular JRPG. With there are some new things to it, but up to like Dragon Quest 11, I think that's the new one. It pretty much stayed the same. Just the same games mechanics from it, which that's either a blessing in disguise or something, or kind of like a weird thing, because Dragon Quest in general hasn't changed much from it. Like if
like
you look at
like core gameplay, like what it has been over the years.
Yeah, core gameplay. Like story is just bringing back the light to the world and defeating the evil lord, and that's pretty much like every Dragon Quest. If you think about it, like Final Fantasy as well, kind of did that, but it also evolved a lot. Like if you look at Final Fantasy X,
oh yeah,
because there's Blitzball, there's a giant monster called Sin. It didn't immediately.
Final Fantasy games have always been good, but they have drastically changed over the years, and gameplay like core gameplay mechanics. The newest
Final Fantasy 13 was a lot different.
Well, the newest like 2, aka the Final Fantasy 7 remake, and Final Fantasy 15.
Final Fantasy 15 was like I think it was a good game. Not a lot of people liked it.
I liked it. I liked how it went from being
kind of like
turn-based,
modern
RPG.
action.
It modernized its gameplay mechanics and its combat mechanics to be more free flow, and you actually have to have some skill to be able to do stuff. You can't just like, oh well, I have this ability. It's turn-based stuff. I'll just click this button and then queue up my attacks. Pokemon style.
Which fun fact, Kingdom Hearts 2 combat Abizer was actually the one who did that for the whole action-based fighting. If you know what I mean.
Say that again.
The whole combat fighting in that game is like based off of the Kingdom Hearts 2 combat.
How Kingdom Hearts 2 is basically freeform, like mobility in combat.
Got it.
Like if you compare Kingdom Hearts 1 to Kingdom Hearts 2, there is a huge difference.
Right.
Because to me, Kingdom Hearts 1, it feels like you're playing on a stiff controller. And then Kingdom Hearts 2 is like, this is nice. I like this.
Yeah, I can understand what you mean. I know what you mean with games like that. Guess we'll move on to Zach. If you have anything you want to add to this topic.
It's just. Oh.
Not really.
No.
I pretty much disagree with you that they're pretty much the same either way. So I mean.
So then I guess the next question, kind of, because I guess when I say video games, have they gotten worse or better? A lot of things I agree with. It always comes down to what the higher ups decide. Because I don't ever blame devs for like any like shitty releases or anything. And the reason like that I think of this topic is because it's like I see all these releases of games, and a lot of games today are reliant on the fact that they have to be patched as soon as they are released for a lot of games. Yeah. Some more than others, depending. Now, some games have good, successful launches, but oh yeah, that was a huge success. Huge success. But like when I think about old video games, because you have to take nostalgia into fact with this, because if I didn't take nostalgia into fact, I could easily say video games are better. I had more, if I was going purely on nostalgia, I remember not getting too mad at video games back then. But then again, I was a kid. So I look at things today in video games as like, okay, so what's improved and what hasn't? Well, if we go like 2000, like I'd say about 13 to around 17, 18-ish, where we still had to pay $60 for almost all our games, and we also had loot boxes in them at the same time for a lot of games, especially games like Call of Duty and stuff. That's where I look at video games and I'm like, really? Yeah, and I'm like, why has this happened to our video games? But nowadays, like, it's getting a little better. Like, I like the idea of free-to-play games and cosmetics only. And I think that's just how video games have evolved and changed because they realized video game cosmetics make more money than just buying just the base game, which is a great business practice. If it's cosmetic only, I've never had a problem with that, and I think that's great. But I think that free-to-play has made the game industry, honestly, so much better.
Because when you have a price tag of $60, you have expectations.
Yeah, you're gonna pay $60. $60 is not a lot of money to most people.
It is a AAA game title price. That's what I see $60 as is a AAA game.
Should be, yeah. And the thing is about that, it's like, you pay $60, and
so you have higher expectations.
Yeah, you want to feel like your money's justified. So when you do that, like there's an element of, obviously defending a purchase. If you let's say the game's bad for $60, you get a bad game for $60. Mostly back then, people would probably defend it a little bit more. But now that things like free to play games, like there's definitely more of a transparency in reviews and stuff for people. I think.
Oh, 100%.
Especially since give a more honest,
as the internet and stuff has evolved, and we can collectively have conversations and discussions on how they fucked up and how the game is not what they promised, or it isn't worth the $60.
Yeah. See, that's where the
the internet bullied Bethesda into giving out refunds for
or with the duffel.
76, and
I've
because of the
seen
duffel
the
bag
whole
stuff.
thing with 76,
And,
like the duffel kerfuffle.
Yeah, and again, that's one of those things. It's like, okay, it's a AAA title, or from a massive, well-known, well-loved AAA company.
This is and also a
And
franchise.
I think, but again, I'm one of the people who defend 76. I enjoy the game, and I think a lot of people overlook the fact that from the very beginning, when they first teased the game, they said straight out that it would be a game that they would be working on from release.
Mm-hmm.
That things would be changing, updated, new content added as they went. And I don't think people really realized what they had meant by that. So when the game released, and there wasn't, a lot of like NPCs and stuff like that, and a lot of the storytelling was told through the holotapes and notes that are left around the map.
See, that was my problem when I started playing 76 before the Wastelanders update. That was my problem with it. It felt bland. It felt boring. It felt like I was going through a desolate wasteland of nothing and going through someone else's. It wasn't my style of story for me. But
it's just something you weren't used to.
Yeah, so like video games, it also taste as well. It matters. But like, so when you talk, video games, and we're talking about like, shitty releases. Yes, when I pay $60, I expect it to be good. But when you like, even $20 is still a lot. Like Rocket League, I knew friends and people who I tried to get them into Rocket League before it went free to play, and they would not get it. It's like, it's $20. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. It's like, and when I heard that, I was like, that's a serious thing, because $20. Yeah, that's only a third of the $60. But if someone says $20 is a lot for a game, like, I think that's, having free to play and having people access your game. Like, look at like Rocket League's numbers. Rocket League, because I just know it best. From at least in a day, 200,000 concurring players went from that to 1.1 million a day, just in the second they went free to play. So,
because a lot of people were eyeing Rocket League for a while, they just, because it's not made by a AAA title or wasn't associated with a AAA title at the time, they didn't know what to think. And a lot of the fans and players of Rocket League are diehard fans and supporters of it, who have been around since its predecessor, like you have. So to them, it was worth the $20 no matter what.
Yeah. So I guess that's like my ultimate take on this is that not so much have video games gotten worse. Like, functionality wise, they've been nothing but better. Like, look at the graphics of games. Look at like the smoothness and controls that you have, the ability to do like the quality of life features that have came out of just video games in general has gotten so much better. But I think higher ups is usually the problem, and what can make a game go from great to bad.
Exactly.
So
it's like I said earlier, it comes down to a lot of like nostalgia and just a lot of different factors. This is something I've thought about and looked at a lot.
Yeah, you have to be
primarily
really
because the fact that like when I was
careful.
younger and through middle school and high school, I have a severe interest in game creation and the process behind it and stuff like that. So I've taken a bit more interest than most people would. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's a thing. That's a funny thing about nostalgia. It's a very fine line you gotta walk.
It's a very powerful thing.
It can very much
easily blind you.
Mm-hmm.
And
like
prevent you from realizing how good things can be.
I'll give you a great one. Shrek 2 from the PlayStation 1 or 2 is a god game, but in my opinion, I don't think it's that good overall. It's not at all.
I'm sorry, but I would say not Shrek 2, Shrek Super Slam. Quasimodo! God, I played that game so much. I loved that game. Like, for as stupid and random as it was, Shrek Super Slam was a banger of a game. Am I wrong?
You're not entirely wrong.
I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah.
But
Like,
but I
remember being
haven't played that before.
Like, the funny thing is, I think GameStop rated Shrek Super Slam as like a 2.5 out of 5, but like actual online ratings rate it at basically like a 4.9 out of 5. Because that was an Activision game.
This is
Like that was Activision published that game.
before their Call of Duty days.
No, they were still doing Call of Duty at that time.
Oh, really? When did Super Slam come out?
2005.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I thought it was like 2003, 2004.
No, it was like Activision has been around since the 80s.
Yeehaw.
Yeah, no, it's an old company. Actually, it made its first Call of Duty game a couple years before Shrek Super Slam came out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Fucking Call of Duty 1 came out in like 03.
Damn.
Yeah.
That makes me feel a little old.
Yeah.
It's 18 years ago, bro. Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They also had a hand in Doom 3. Back when that came out. The original, Doom 3. Not the like the BFG edition or anything, but yeah, that was like 04. Then they were part of like Guitar Hero and those kinds of franchises, stuff like that. Like they've had their hand in all sorts of different companies or different games. Obviously, they're most well known, Call of Duty, but they've had a lot going on.
Yeah,
Sounds like it.
Yeah, no, they've been surprisingly busy since their founding. Let's see. So we just covered how we think games have been going, whether or not they have been getting better or worse.
Yeah.
In a similar matter, who do you believe is the best content creator on the platform?
Are you talking
For
like
games?
YouTube,
talking like
Twitch, whatever.
God?
I would say Mixer, but Mixer's dead.
Man, that's another company Microsoft killed right there. Well, that's another topic for another day.
Not gonna lie, this is a bit of a tough choice because it's kind of like a double-edged sword.
It really depends on what we're talking. If we're talking purely video games, I mean, I watch different like videos for different reasons. So like, do you want like multiple answers, like from an entertainment to funny, or just
in
overall?
General. Just
Okay.
in general, who do you think is the best content creator?
Fuck.
Awkward.
I was about to say, okay. I'll come back to you. Think about it. I'll come back to you.
Yeah.
Jesse, let's go to you.
For like YouTube and Twitch, just specifically YouTube or Twitch?
Content creator. Just content creator. So,
and this is who the best is.
Who you think is the
I'm
best?
I'm pulling up my YouTube subscriptions. That's what I'm doing for.
I won't necessarily think this guy's best, but I really like his content.
So he's like your personal favorite then.
One of my personal favorites because he's a bit of a goof like us, a bit of a nerd.
Right.
Guy I'm talking about is Nico B. He's a really good guy, and I joined. I think I started watching him around like 2016, like late 2016, and he just sort of clicked, and he was just that goofy guy, and yeah.
Nice.
He does a lot of playthroughs. Currently, I believe he's doing a playthrough of Yakuza 3 Remaster, and
Okay.
and another game.
I mean,
I
he's,
think
he's doing pretty decent for himself. He's got 200,000 subs. Just
As a
based
known-
on some of the stuff I've seen, I think you've brought him up like once or twice.
What was his name? What was his name again?
Nico, capital B, no space.
he's done his own thing. I think he's done his own series called The Council of Voices, because he voice acts, but he's not an actual voice actor. He just voices characters, and
Yeah.
his ad libbing just gives him more like, man, what a goofball.
That's fair.
And I feel like we kind of do that at some points. Just we ad lib our own stuff, whether it's funny or not.
I don't know. I think I am simultaneously the best and worst person to play games with, especially like open world games. Because no matter what, I always find a way to break it in the most stupid and like unusual way.
Help!
Yeah, whenever we play Far Cry 5, we found something. We haven't even finished that game.
No, we haven't.
We've already seen a lot in that fucking game.
Far
That's
Cry. That is one of the games I can always break no matter what. And I always find myself either in or putting myself and friend in situations that we should not be in and shouldn't be able to be in. Like when I walked into the trailer of a semi or one of the big fucking cargo trucks, and Jake was driving, and I got into the back, and then we exploded for no reason. There wasn't any enemies nearby. There wasn't any explosives. I didn't shoot my gun. He was just like, we made it 5 feet. We exploded. I got sent to the moon. And Jake's just fine.
I'm fine. It's all good.
Yeah. He's
You're
just standing
blasting off
outside
again.
of the burning wreckage of this truck as I plummet back down into it and get glitched between like the driver section, the fucking the cabin of the truck and the back of the truck. And he's sitting there going, how am I supposed to revive you?
How am I supposed to? I mean, like, how was I supposed to? What fucking let me, bro?
But yeah, no, that is... Like I said, I view myself as the best and worst at the same time.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how. If the game is more broken, the worse it gets. So make a good game, people. This is why we can't.
It doesn't matter. I will break it anyways.
You'll find a way. If there's a will, there's a way.
I think
there's not even a will for you.
I think
it's
Zach
just,
can relate
if I
again,
can.
like with that same thing when it comes to Far Cry. When me and him were playing a lot of Far Cry 4, because
Right. Tell us about it, Zach. Far Cry 4?
I don't remember playing 4 that much.
Zach's memory isn't the best sometimes.
No, I played the shit out of 5 though.
I know that. I mean, to be fair, I did play 4 mostly with Andrew and Jackson.
Yeah.
But again, it doesn't matter what game I'm playing. I will find a way to break it. Not even purposely. It just breaks. Like
it just breaks.
it does.
It works.
It's
just
not my fault.
works. That's what the game developers are telling you. That's what game developers tell you nowadays. They're like, it works. It just works, and it doesn't work.
Me.
Oh, really?
Moves 5 inches to the left.
World implodes.
Just glitches through the road.
Fucking Scatman sound effects going as my body's like going stretch. Just
It
body
goes in and
stretch.
out. It just
It's-
like goes in and out, and the
again,
closer and farther away you
Jake,
get from
it's like
camera.
that part in Badger's video, or his fucking Fallout New Vegas video,
Oh, yeah.
where he kills the assassin in the tower, and the body just stretches out, just spazzes all around. It's basically that.
Russian Badger's a good contender
He-
for this. He's a good contender for this.
I don't. He just has a way of,
His
no matter
videos.
what, like he has good production quality, good chemistry with his friends. Like they are some of the funniest people, when they're all together.
Yeah.
And
Is that your
his-
content
his-
creator favorite?
it's one of
Would
mine.
you say that was one of them? Okay. Yeah, I definitely see that. I would be very surprised if that wasn't like one of your
Because
favorites.
he
He
has
is so good.
he
He's
has
solid.
he's getting into like animation stuff so that like he can improve the quality of his videos. He's constantly looking for ways to just make his videos better.
It's a good thing.
Alternatively, another content creator I would say is probably, to me, one of the best on the platform would be Markiplier.
Ah, Markiplier. Yep.
I feel like that one's a bit obvious because
It's just
It's for good reason though. For
Yeah,
good
exactly.
reason.
like
It's not without.
again,
not-
that's the thing.
not
Like,
warranted.
I don't want it to be like such a cliche thing, but it's so
You have to like Markiplier.
you
just
have to
produces-
consider Markiplier.
He's like
Is he
I'm
the
sitting
most
on
subscribed to channel? No. Is he the most popular channel? No. When he
No.
puts out a fucking video, does it go to trending almost immediately? Yes.
Yes, it's because his videos are worth watching.
Yeah,
Like you get that
But
notification.
that's
in
in
your
part due to him having an amazing editor, Lixian.
phone. Yeah.
Lexian, he's fucking great.
He is one of the most brilliant, funny
Big brain man.
editors I've ever seen come out of the platform.
Yeah.
And I don't think he actually gets like the recognition that he deserves. But
Yeah, editors are kind of like a thankless job almost.
it
in a
really
way.
is.
It sucks.
Again, when you look at Markiplier, like he has been around. He hasn't even been on the platform for that long. I mean, granted,
He
the
started
channel we
around
know now, the channel we know now, that's actually his second channel.
started around like
Really?
2013.
His original
right?
channel is gone. His current channel that he uses, just the straight up Markiplier one, he's had that since 2012.
Nice.
So he's had that one for 9 years now. And across his channel, he has 15 billion views.
Numbers to compete with right there. That's not.
15 billion views across his channel. Obviously, some of his most popular stuff is his Five Nights at Freddy's stuff. He's one of the biggest reasons why that game became as popular and as big as it did. That his playlist for Five Nights at Freddy's alone has almost 250 million views. Just that one playlist. It currently is sitting at 217,742,769 views.
Nice.
And he hasn't put out a new FNAF video since late 2019. And yet it's still...
yeah, I mean, you look at this, like, I'm just looking at constant 1.5 million, 2.5 million, 2 million, 2.1, 1.9.
He's got
He
consistency.
get 9 hours ago. 1.5 million, 9 hours
Yeah.
ago.
The War Stash automated interview automation, or automaton.
It's a minute 46 video.
But the thing about that video is, it's like his Who Killed Markiplier and a Heist with Markiplier videos. It's a choose-your-own adventure type video. It's just that one video, but then he's got a bunch of other videos that are unlisted on his channel that video will go to
That's such smart
It's
tactics
brilliant.
right there. It really is. He knows how to play the
Because-
game.
So that's a minute and 40, video, right? And at the end of it, within like the last 5 seconds, two options pop up on either side of the top of the screen. Two different options for the choose your own adventure with different paths. That's his whole thing of like a heist with Markiplier, and he's gone on tour with his buddies, Wade, fucking Bob, Ethan. He went on tour with them. It was the You're Welcome tour, and it was a cross country, and I think actually he went to Europe as well for that tour. It was mostly like it was just an improv tour of him and his buddies doing improv, and they would bring audience members up onto the stage for parts of it, and take ideas from the audience, and it was great. I've watched their clips and stuff of that, and it was great. And I think one of the things that Markiplier has going for him is that he is who he says he is.
Yeah,
What
I
we
mean,
like
I've
from
heard
everything
nothing.
I've heard and
From
read,
everything,
and just
he's
based on what
nothing but
people
just
around
a
him
nice
said about
guy,
him,
bro.
he is exactly who we see.
Transparency is everything, I think, in a content creator. I think
And-
compared to like TV, especially,
Oh, yeah,
the more
100%.
transparent, like obviously don't want full transparency, but if the more transparent they are with their audience, I feel like it engages more, and it
Not
really
to mention,
shows.
Markiplier has raised over $3 million for charity. For his from his charity live streams and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
He has his own clothing brand now. The Cloak clothing brand. Which is just amazing that he was able to get that off, which he has other big content creators associated with it, like Pokimane and Jacksepticeye, as like major components of that company. And he's just done a lot of stuff. Quality, just amazing content. The only thing I will say is the way that he eats Takis makes me want to punch him in the mouth. I'm sorry. If somehow one day this, for whatever unlikely reason that Markiplier watches this
one clip gets clipped.
This one clip.
Yeah, he hates you now already, bro.
I want to punch Mark in the face for how he eats Takis. Like
I
don't even like Takis. But the way he eats, he doesn't eat them. He takes a Taki one at a time, right? He puts it in his mouth, sucks all the powder off of it, and then spits it out. You can watch his video that has 2.5 million views of I quote unquote eat every flavor of Takis.
I probably will do that after
so
this.
Much.
I'm probably going to be doing that as well.
That is one of the most cursed things I have ever seen. I'm sorry, but it is so unbelievably cursed. All right.
So what's your content creator, Zach?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot from Markiplier. We got Nico B. What's your content creator choice here?
Well, when I was a kid, I used to watch Pewds, but you
could still like.
I know, I still do to some degree.
I mean, statistically, PewDiePie is the best. Statistically, he is the best.
He's been bouncing around a lot. That's the problem with controversies. People just want to bash him in the fucking head with anything they can to make him stop.
I mean, to be fair, he has done some shit that he shouldn't have done.
Yeah, but who doesn't do that shit anymore? But
to be fair, he dropped the N-word.
I mean,
Yeehaw.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeehaw.
Yeah, that's my take on it. Wow, cool, bro.
Which is why he lost his.
Yeah, he lost because a fan base fucking mob rioted against him for that. That's like, they don't give it like what? I don't know.
Yeah, I got you.
I know I've never
Um,
agreed with the fact that he should have lost his sponsors over that, but that's a different
Yeah.
topic. Yeah, but go ahead, Zach. Sorry.
There's also somebody else I just recently started watching called Gray Still Plays. He is a full-on. He plays certain games. Like right now, I was just trying to watch his YouTube video.
Okay, so he's got
earlier
4.5
today.
million subs. He's doing
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah. He's not doing too bad.
I've seen this guy. Yeah, I love this guy.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do
we're
too.
checking
He's
out
he's a masochist because he will
So
not
he's
give
like
up
Mark.
no matter. Yeah, pretty much. He will not give up no matter what happens, no matter how hard the level is. He'll keep going until eventually he beats it. He will not stop at all. He did that with Minecraft. He played for like 7 or 8 hours trying to beat this one parkour map. Straight, I believe. I don't know if it was straight, but I'm sure he took a break. But point is, he played for 7 or 8 hours just trying to beat the damn thing.
If you had to pick the video, like if let's say someone goes to this channel, they listen to us, and they go to this channel. If you had to pick a video for them to watch, what video do you think it would be?
I'd have to look through because there's one of them I know that was crazy. Okay, it's called I completed the world's hardest laser jump challenge and this happened. It's a 14 minute and a half, about 14:38 seconds minute of a video. It shows him standing as this dude with a looks like a disc on his back, and then it shows noob, legend, and pro. I think this is the one. I'm gonna make sure real quick just to double check. I'm obviously not gonna play it
So
because
it's like a Happy Wheels
Yeah,
thing.
No, it's kind of, but it's a
It looks like it's like a mod.
it's a ragdoll game.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
See some.
Yeah, this is the one. Okay, this is the one. Yeah, this is the one I would show
completed the
somebody.
world's hardest laser jump challenge, and this happened.
Yeah, it was posted 2 months ago, and it has
781,000.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, that's it.
Nice.
But there is this other game called Guts and Glory he played, which was pretty fucking
It's basically
funny.
the new Happy Wheels.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like it is just a 3D.
Pretty much Happy
Wheels
yeah.
clone.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think like Jacksepticeye and a couple other people played it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but he keeps playing it. That's the thing. That's why I like him because he's just he finds new shit to play. So, I mean, Markiplier and Pewds are obviously the big top tier, but I like Gray. I just recently started.
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with supporting smaller channels. Like one of my personal favorite channels. I want not necessarily I would say the best channel on the platform, but I definitely think they deserve a lot more recognition. The channel is called Tier of Grace, and it's just, the channel's like the guy who runs the channel. His name is Brett Tier. He's got 383 million views on his channel. He's got just under 800,000 fucking subs. He does a lot of Twitch and all that stuff. He has other channels for his Twitch, VODs and other stuff too. But he's done like a lot of Dark Souls and Binding of Isaac, stuff like that. But I definitely think he deserves more
recognition,
attention than what he does get. But again, he's one of the channels I do support.
Nice.
All right. Jake.
Time for it.
Well, I was about to say, Jake. Did you give your?
I have not.
Okay, so we'll do that, and
think.
then we will go over maybe one more topic.
Right. I've got personal one that I've just been enjoying. The Act Man. 1.06 million subscribers. He mostly makes reviews on games, basically, especially like Call of Duty and stuff. He actually his newest video I haven't watched yet. Why is Fallout New Vegas so awesome? I have to watch that. Usually longer videos, but he just has he's not necessarily funny, but he's just so entertaining to just watch, and the editing is just so nice. And he's got like so many different videos. Like his best video on here that he's got, or what's it called? His best one is why is Call of Duty what is it called? World War II so bad. That's kind of like his thing. Why is this game so good, so awesome?
Yeah.
That's kind of like his thing. So just watching them, you can watch them over and over again, and it's just solid content to watch. I highly recommend his channel just for just to have something to watch in the background for sure.
Yeah.
He's rose pretty quickly from going from nothing to a lot. He uploads about once a week or so.
Okay.
But yeah, I definitely would recommend him. Like this is one of my favorite videos, the rise and fall of loot boxes. That was just so good. Just I can't, like, it's just oh god. So I mean, yeah, like I think he is. Second, I was gonna say Penguins, Moist Critical.
Oh yeah.
He's just I watch every video of his. Like I'd say the Ackman and Critical. Those are two that when I see the notification, I'm immediately watching it.
Yeah, Charlie's a fucking great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. He hammers whoever the hell he can if he
Yeah,
finds a problem.
yeah, he's just
He's not
on it.
afraid to show who the hell he hates.
Yeah, he's just himself. I'm glad for it.
Yeah.
Like,
Cool. It's
he
cool
keeps
to
it
see him
fucking
go
real.
It's cool to see him go from like more of a shallow, from more of being inside his shell and just sticking to like shitty video games to see the projects that he does now. For Christ's sakes, he just made a fucking potato launcher with PVC pipe, some hairspray, and a fuse. Like
This fucking lad.
just seeing him do that, like just
Right.
seeing him do projects that are outside of video games or outside of just it's just so cool to see. But yeah, those are my two that
Okay.
I'd say.
We will do one last talking point that I have here, and then I think we can call it for tonight.
For sure. Lay it on us.
Do you
Actually, can we do? Wait, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Can we do one more? Like, can we do one tiny topic after that to end it off? I got a great topic, I promise.
Okay. Yeah,
All right.
that's fine.
Sick. All right, go for it.
Don't make me regret it.
Immediately.
So, do you guys believe in the paranormal? And or have you ever had a paranormal experience?
Repeat that real quick.
Do you believe in the paranormal? Ghosts, spirits, afterlife, that kind of stuff. And or have you ever had a paranormal experience?
I've never had a paranormal experience, but you know what? I'm gonna say no. I don't believe it. I think it's cool entertainment for people to try to look for them, but until I just haven't had an experience with it for me to believe it. So I have.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Jesse?
I'm kind of like in between. Like, I can believe it if there's a lot of evidence supporting it, but I also have to think of it scientifically. If there is a explanation of some way to debunk what happens, like if a door opens from being
And no one's around.
when no one's around, you gotta have to figure something out. Like,
Kind of comes back to the whole if a tree falls in the woods and no one's around, doesn't make a sound kind of deal. Like,
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, same thing. If you can prove to me, if someone can actually give me evidence, like, okay, this door opened and nothing caused it. There's no mechanics that make it open. It's heavy enough that someone had to have been there to push it or something like that, and it just plops open for no reason. Maybe, yeah, something like that. I would definitely be like, oh shit, okay, shit.
Zach?
Yeah, I mean, I believe in the that kind of stuff. I mean, something I don't really touch upon because some people would think you're freaking crazy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, I believe that shit because I mean, sometimes when I dream, I see like my uncle, who sadly has been gone for about, I think, give or take, almost 10 years now. I'd say he died in 2012, so it's been almost 10 years.
So, do you view that as, a spirit of him, reaching out to you, or do you
Yeah, I
attribute
see.
that more to memories and
Yeah.
you
No, it's
just
him
trying
reaching out.
to?
I believe it's him reaching out to me because of the fact that like it wouldn't be memories because when I dream about him, it's like I'm physically talking to him because
Right.
like he talks to me back and like I tell him how much I miss him and then he says he knows and then I give him a hug but then I wake up sad, which is the unfortunate part. Yeah.
Well, I think that's the thing about memories is it's great to have. Like you always
Exactly.
remember stuff about that. Have you ever had like? Have you ever seen like? Have you ever had any paranormal activity like awake?
No.
No. Okay.
No, I have not.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's hard to come by. I don't think a lot of people have it, and I think the people who do, I don't think they ever fully went to investigate why something like this would have happened. Like I've seen.
But it's also hard to disprove them at the
You
same
can't
time.
because when you're trying to disprove, you have to disprove someone's belief of what they think, and if they truly think something happened that's
Then it's
out
true
of
to
place,
them,
it's normal.
despite whatever you say.
Experience will overhaul just about just any words because
Yeah.
a picture's worth 1,000 words. So
And I'm similar to how Jesse feels about it. I'm open-minded to it. I haven't personally experienced anything, but there's so much we don't understand about the universe and about what happens after we die that it's, to me, illogical to completely dismiss it.
yeah,
Simply
just because we don't know something doesn't mean it doesn't exist or doesn't. Yeah,
especially
makes sense.
since we don't, it's very possible we just don't have the right technology, or we have the technology, we just don't know how to properly use it and calibrate it to be able to actually provide solid evidence for or against it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know. Yeah, and like evidence. I could you provide evidence that I can believe in. Yeah,
but
I'll believe it.
I'm not gonna say if it's not possible.
Yeah, we can.
And
I think the cool thing is we've as humans have made it like so like I wouldn't say taboo, but I mean like
I don't know.
because we have like shows and shit on it. We have games about it
exactly.
and
But
shit. So
not even just
obviously it's
that.
a phenomenon that exists that people have attached to.
It's not only that. It's just the fact that like since ancient civilizations, especially the Egyptian, spirituality is a very prominent, important thing in Egyptian or ancient Egyptian religion and just tradition and their everyday lives.
Yeah.
It's literally, us dying isn't the end of life. It is just the next step into the afterlife.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why mummification was so important to them, to keep their body preserved for them finding it in the afterlife.
Makes sense.
It's a lot of spiritual, religious aspects that ancient civilizations across the world have all, for the most part, most of them have believed in an afterlife and spirits and stuff like that. I think that alone is enough to not completely discredit the fact that it could be a thing.
Yeah. Completely,
especially
I agree.
considering they had no connection with each other, no way of contact.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And civilizations
think of
across the
access
world
to science too at the time.
Yeah.
Like you
And
can't,
especially structurally, like a lot of important buildings between Egypt and South American native cultures and stuff like that, building different. They build pyramids, all of them.
Mhm.
I
They
think
still stand.
it's an interesting thing that cultures who had no connection to each other, no way to communicate, no way to transfer knowledge
Information,
and
data, yeah.
information and building practices to are they the exact same pyramids? No, but they're pyramids nonetheless.
They made it through. They made
Which that
amazing things
leads
that we
into
go
another
to.
conversation that I would like to bring up another time. But for now, I'll leave it at that.
There you go.
And what was the final?
I am so happy we went through all of that because this is gonna make this funnier. So,
Oh no.
if you had a 2-liter, you can have it full or not, doesn't matter. A 2-liter. If you had to shove it up your ass, how far do you think you would get to before your ass starts tearing? I just heard Morgan. What the fuck?
What
But then,
the
I mean,
fuck,
something
Jake?
I'm curious about.
I'm sorry, I'm going through a tunnel right now. We're breaking up.
You know what?
We
We're
just
gonna
went
leave it
through-
at that. Thank you for
We went-
listening and tuning into the Chaoscast. We'll see you guys in the next episode.
It's
Peace
really
out.
chaotic.
Later.